Oh boy, another Pikachu card, another Pikachu set for us to feature right here. We got Supercharged Breaker that was announced. It's going to be coming out October 18th according to all the sources. That's going to feature Pikachu right there on the front. I'm sure everybody's seen that's going to be a Stellar type Pikachu. Two cards have been unveiled from that. We have the Pikachu EX, the standard, but the big one, the big creme la crop that was shown today was the Stellar type full art. I do truly appreciate these Stellar types. I do appreciate the rainbows that are coming out with that, the nice borders and all that stuff. I think people are going to be relatively happy to pull this card. But the big talking point that a lot of people had to say about this was can't wait to see the SAR or the SIR. That's going to be the special art rare or the special illustration rare. There's people that were extremely just, I don't even want to see this card. Can't wait for the art rare. Can't really blame some people. I know this isn't like some people's cup of tea. I'm sure people are going to be super happy with whatever comes out. I do think it would be funny if this was the one set where the featured Pokemon does not have a special illustration rare. I think that would be hilarious, and that would prove to me something divine has a sense of humor. I would laugh my ass off if that was the case. They're just like, yeah, not this set. We're just going to skip Pikachu. We're just not going to give him one. Sorry. We're running out of SIR ideas. We don't really have one on deck for Pikachu. I do think he's going to have one. I do think it's going to be the case where he does get that. I think it's going to deliver for some people. The one thing I want to talk about, though, is Pikachu sets have this thing. They have this really bad problem where they just get extremely hyped for almost like no reason comparatively to what Pikachu cards do. This does have something to do with people talking about the financial standpoint. I do think Pikachu gets great art. I do think that Pokemon gets some fantastic cards. I mean, going all the way back to XY, those Poncho Pikachu promos. We got the Tag Team Pikachu Zekrom. That one's awesome, with the chase from the set from Team Up being the Rainbow Rare. The alternate art was featured in a tin. It was not actually something you could pull, but in Japanese Tag Bolt, you could pull the alternate art Pikachu Zekrom. That's a fantastic card. You had the Rainbow Rare Chonky. Everybody was really into that card for a little bit, then all of a sudden it went away. Nobody wanted to talk about it anymore. Like, it's literally something that does not enter any conversation whatsoever, unless people are looking about, oh yeah, Vivid Voltage, that's a set. What was the chase from that set? Oh, it was Rainbow Rare Chonky. Yeah, that's literally the only thing that happens with that set at all. Going further, you had the art rares like the CSRs with the ones from VMAX Climax and the Trainer Gallery. The one featuring Red, that was awesome. Those are good cards. You got the one featured in, there was like a God Pack one that was featured in V-Star Universe, and I think it was in Crown Zenith. Going further than that, you got the Shiny Pikachu, the one that was featured in Shiny Treasure. That was something that was hyped up a hell of a lot too. And then last but not least, I think it was a little bit before, you had the Master Ball Pikachu from the Japanese set 151. Pikachu lately just gets a ton of hype, and a lot of it really doesn't seem to stick, and it's really something that I feel is like to sell that Pikachu card to people around in the hobby, especially newer people that don't really remember how they worked or they weren't here or anything like that. Like, Pikachu cards get extremely hyped. They get talked about a lot whenever the set happens, and Surging Sparks is no exception. That is 100% happening with this set over here. Do I think this art's going to be great? Sure. Do I think there's going to be people that absolutely love the Pikachu card? Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be great. I'm sure it's going to be fine. I got nothing against that. I just really do think there's some people that are already putting all their chips into Surging Sparks and not really discussing the thing that happens with all the Pikachu sets. Every single one of these cards usually extremely dip in interest and dip in value, and you're going to see a lot of people pushing some prices for some of these cards that aren't necessarily, I mean, the Pikachu Zekrom in Japanese, the Tag Bolt one's worth about like 280, 300 bucks, but that's really the biggest one you're going to see out of this lot right here. That's the big creme la crop right there. And I'm not counting graded, of course. I mean, like, the Master Ball one's doing all right, but all those other ones, like the actual art rare ones from V-Star Universe, VMAX Climax, and the Rainbow Rare Chonky has experienced the biggest downfall of them all. It's not like it doesn't have any value whatsoever, but it is not pushing the same levels in which people were actually hyping that stuff out. The only thing I really want to tell people about this is a lot of people are going to be pushing things about Pikachu because it just gets that fucking level of hype. Just be real careful when you're listening to stuff. I feel like a lot of the videos, a lot of the content that's actually being made about this is specifically targeting newer people that are going to step into the hobby, that are going to be more willing to pay certain prices for something when it's not necessarily going to be the case. A lot of the Pikachu cards dip. I mean, the God Pack one especially. I remember that one was going for like the whole God Pack I think was like 600 bucks. And now you can pick up those cards for basically like 100, 200 bucks easily. You can get a graded one for like absolutely nothing compared to what you had to buy for previously. The hype is here whenever sets featuring Pikachu are announced, and then they completely just fall off. People don't even discuss them anymore. At least Charizard cards, they enter the conversation from time to time again. Pikachu cards just completely get like just swept away and no one talks about them unless it actually benefits something they're discussing, like remembering fondly Vivid Voltage, or, oh yeah guys, do you remember that Red had a Pikachu card in the trainer gallery? Do you guys, that's literally all that happens with them. The fucking Van Gogh Pikachu, that's a little bit of a wild card. The Master Ball Pikachu, that's a little bit of a wild card, but there's other cards in the Scarlet and Violet era that are competing with those cards, if not beating them as well. And then it's just be careful. There's going to be some people talking stuff up. If you want to get some Surging Sparks or you want to get some Supercharged Breakers, I mean, absolutely, go ahead and get it. Grab your stuff. Just remember, it's going to be okay. Pikachu cards are going to be mass and abundant. The Scarlet and Violet era is the junk era to a lot of people. It doesn't mean anything, and it's starting to feature some of our favorite Pokemon from Gen 1 and other generations now. Just be aware that even in previous sets where it was a Gen 1 Pokemon, I completely get that. The 151ers are jerking their dongs to it. I completely get it. Just be aware that in the past, there has been a thing where there was more hype and there was less cards floating around, that a lot of this stuff just didn't perform, as a lot of people are saying. I just don't want people to overpay for something that they absolutely do not need to. Just be aware, watch out for stuff. You can go back and look at a lot of these cards too. Pikachu gets some great art, don't get me wrong. If it does get an SAR or an SIR, it's going to be great. It's going to be an absolutely great card, and if people are truly Pikachu fans, I think they're going to be happy. It's just, be aware, even the best goated Pikachu cards that have come out have just went, just be aware of that. That's all I got. Appreciate it, Virgin Gang. See you later. There's a lot of videos out there. That's all I'm saying. A lot of people pushing the hype. The hype has existed before, and Pikachu just gets left in the dust for other cards like Moonbreon or Rayquaza. You all know what I'm talking about.